Welcome to my artist on artist interview. It's your boy, Mr. Flames. I'm going to be our host from now on. Episode 1, I am joined by the lovely.
Jahsiah, Auguste, aka Black Dude from across the street.
Hey, nice to meet you, my friend. Well, obviously, I met you already, but thank you for tapping in with me. So, the point of this interview is to. Obviously, I'm an artist. You are an artist. We are going to CalArts. Obviously, they don't know that, but. It's really to connect and like understand people and like connect with people and like share this experience of like being an artist. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. First of all, where are you from?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. And when did you move to California?
I got here 2023.
And what is your craft?
My craft. I am an actor, artist, child of God.
Okay, cool. I like that. So I like to start off with tell us how you got here, man. Like tell us, cause I'm an actor as well, and my like origin story is a little nuts, but everyone has like obviously their own. So I'm very curious of like how you got involved with acting.
I got involved with
Yeah.
acting. Well, truth be told, acting is something that you watch TV and be
Right.
like, damn,
Right.
I love that. I want to do that.
Right.
And that's I guess how it started for me, just watching people watching shows. Like I watch the same actor in a different show in a different
Right.
movie. I'm like, it's a whole nother universe, and this
Right.
person exists.
Yeah.
And it's like even the fascination with the clothing, like you watch Power Rangers, you watch Victorious, or you watch wherever these shows where you're like watching people your age who are wearing a different outfit every day.
Yeah.
And it's like you from Brooklyn, not everybody has a different outfit every day. So just like for me, even going as far as like I want to style up, I want to at least be able to put on this piece, that piece, to be a little different every day.
Definitely.
And
that's a performance in and of itself. You know what I mean? Like what you wear is a performance. It's a statement as well. That's why.
And with that, like putting what you put on is just a representation of how you feel about yourself sometimes.
Definitely.
And it's like how you bringing yourself to the world.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, I would say young. I was
young.
I was into everything. I did basketball when I was younger. I
was gonna say he's not only an artist as a craft, but this guy's a hooper for real.
I'm alright.
Okay,
I'm alright.
Same.
You know what I'm saying. The
We
ball
balled a few times.
You know what I'm saying. The ball goes through the hoop sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. But yeah, I did basketball. I did stand-up comedy for a brief stint.
Okay, cool.
I did wrestling while I was in high school.
Sick.
And it wasn't until COVID came where my mom was like, "Yo, you got accepted to an art school," and I'm like,
Huh?
I didn't even audition. That's why I'm like, what do you mean you got into an art school? So in me, I love wrestling. I grew up watching WWE, and that's acting of itself. That's theater of itself.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I had to make a decision between my love wrestling and a dream acting. And my mom made that choice for me. I didn't know that. And thank God, mom, she chose acting. And as soon as I got to the school, I really had to sit down and have a conversation with God and really like, yo, if this is the direction you're pointing me towards, I'm gonna give my all. I'm not gonna cheat myself. I'm not gonna anything. I want to be great. I am great, and I'm being greater with each process.
Definitely.
But yeah, that was me. I was 16 at that time.
Oh wow, young.
And that's kind of just been my grind. I found like you go into certain places and you see like you can't cheat the game. You put the work in, the work is going to show. Exactly. So it's coming into these places and doing my all, putting my all, and seeing the difference between my all and some people's little.
Yeah.
And showing like, all right, one, not to in sense of comparison, but just seeing what am I putting to the table, and seeing the product I put out, just being confident. And now like, all right, just got to keep putting the work in because things are gonna keep working.
Absolutely.
And then,
so I have a question off of that. I have a question off of that. What was the moment where you decided I am an actor?
The moment I decided I am an actor.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a moment where you're where you're like, this is a career I'm pursuing. This is what I am. I am an actor. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I ever had a thought I am an actor, but I would say the first monologue I had to do for a class was Levy from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, written by Auguste Wilson.
August Wilson,
A
man.
wonderful player, a wonderful play. And Levy gotta be Levy. That's the monologue. And as I was doing it, I was just falling in love with the process of like, I'm finding something like, oh, what is that?
And
I was
you
like,
feel that.
Exactly. And you feel that. And I think that's what made me be like, yo, I can do this.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's really what it is. It's just like finding your light and your piece into the work and just enjoying that discovery of like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And just doing it,
Definitely.
you know, on some Nike-ish, you know?
Definitely.
I feel that's the moment when I realized I can be an actor, I would say.
Definitely. That's a beautiful moment. No, that's exactly what I was searching for. Yeah. No, that's dope. So now, tell me about. Now I want to dive in a little bit into your resume.
Okay.
Tell me a little about your resume. Like you said you had that first performance, and that's when you realized I can do this. What happened after that? What shows have you been in? What production like inspired you the most? Where did you learn the most? Where have you failed? You know what I'm saying? So give us a little bit about your resume.
A little bit about my resume.
And then I'll ask you what you've been in recently after.
Okay. Where would I start? I'll say my first piece was Don Trell, Who Kissed the Sea.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that play, but I'll definitely look it up.
I forgot the name of the playwright. Forgive me. But yeah, that was a fantastic time. I was playing Don Trell, and for me, that was my first time in a play and really understanding like, all right, what do I need to do in order to be ready?
Yeah.
And taking that responsibility of like, all right, let's do it. Let's drive the boat.
Yeah. How old are you?
17.
Okay.
17.
Yeah. I was also 17 when I did my first play. Yeah.
Fast forward, I'll say going into my senior year, I was 18 at the time, and we did Glass Menagerie. And my teacher.
Wow, what a play!
Yes.
Wow.
My teacher, Christina Peacock, she made me play the mom. She made me
That is
Amanda Wingfield.
That is really interesting.
Yeah,
wow.
like I got the hair, so and we had a conversation like we don't want this to be a Medea type of thing.
Right.
We want this to be serious.
Yeah.
So
truthful.
Truthful.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, it was like, all right, as a young black man playing a old white Southern woman, I'm like, how can I, be truthful in this?
Fact. Sometimes you just gotta figure it out.
Exactly. So it was like something as simple as like, all right, I'm gonna just have to keep my hair out.
Right.
Just to understand what's that flow.
Totally.
And changing the voice and just taking the little bit of extra steps to step into character, to be of service to this person and who you're trying to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of made me fall in love. Like, yo, I can really be anybody. I can really be anybody.
Yeah.
I'll say my first paid acting gig was right before college. I was on New Perspectives Theater, and I did a show earlier in June of that 2023. And Governor's Island, I was playing doing Romeo and Juliet. I was playing Romeo, and somebody came in and was like, "Yo, da da da." Fast forward, he called me.
That's crazy. That's a hard role. Like
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet,
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is like a classic like Shakespeare piece. Like everybody knows what it is, but that show's hard.
Yeah.
Playing Romeo is hard.
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of time, and I think at that age, my main focus was get into the play of it. Get into reality. It's not even like if I'm a little kid, like at the end of the day, like that, Romeo, Wherefore Art Thou Romeo, that scene right there, it's just I'm literally sneaking into enemy territory and
peeping in on a girl,
peeping on a chick, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, just stepping into that reality and not, make it like Shakespeare.
Right.
Shakespeare.
So you were trying to bring it down to the truth of the reality of the situation.
Exactly.
Instead of like elevating this language and being all like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can, and especially Shakespeare, it can be like a different language sometimes.
Yeah,
it's like if you don't take that time to bring it down a level, like the audience member is going to be like, huh? And you know, so you're just like,
Yeah.
for them, you don't want to do that
Definitely,
because for the sake of the experience.
Definitely.
I'll say the next one was this. I guess you go into recent ones and I'll just go into the.
Bet. So for me recently, I was in a show at UCSD.
Okay.
So that was a lot of fun. It was a Brazilian play called The Rogues Trials, and I played the bishop,
The bishop.
which is super funny for me because it's like I'm an indigenous individual, and the way that the church treated indigenous people is just gnarly. So for me, as an indigenous and Latino actor, to play a bishop was really interesting. And he was an asshole. Like he was an asshole. So it was really interesting, like figuring out how to play an asshole. You know what I mean? So that was really fun. Before that, I got the opportunity to work with Lisa Portes, who's like a super famous director, like all over the country. And I didn't realize this, but she's the chair at UCSD. And I understudied for Eilert Lovborg. Do you know Hedda Gabler, the Ibsen play?
I just heard. I had to skim that play a couple of days ago for that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I understudied and I got the chance to perform because the actor got sick, and so I performed Eilert Lovborg. And what was really interesting was I try to be humble, but there's definitely certain moments where I gotta toot my own horn. Where basically, I set the standard at UCSD for what understudying should be like. Because before that, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a system set up to like support the understudies. And when I came in, I was ready because I'm a fucking professional. I cussed again, my bad. But I'm a professional, and it's like I showed up ready to do the work that I was hired to do. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I was hired to do this job. I prepared the way that I know how to prepare, and then when I had to step up, I stepped up and did the job that I'm there to do. And I was apparently the faculty, the school was like talking about it for days after that about how prepared I was. And then I had the head of the stage management department. I was in her class at the time. She came up to me and was like, "You did such a wonderful job." And she's the one that told me that everyone was talking about it. And then she asked me what I think the understudies could use in order to feel more supported, in order to be able to produce what you produced that day. And then I gave her everything that I thought. Boom, the next show that I'm in, all of those things got implemented.
And I feel there's something so beautiful about that, because you don't know when your shot is gonna get called.
No, you have no idea.
You never know when your moment, and it's like even being an understudy,
yeah.
like there's so much opportunity just to watch and learn and watch and see. So it's just like you're not watching the person that's the character go up and like, you ain't doing all that. You want to like, okay.
You want to absorb.
You want to absorb.
Yeah.
So when you get plugged in, it's like, okay.
This is your chance to show something.
Exactly.
And I just did my job. And even the director, who's super famous apparently, because I didn't know her that well. This is my first time like actually working with her, and apparently she's super famous. So even just that opportunity to like show what I can do to someone that is like deep in the industry, that's such a beautiful moment. You know what I mean?
And do you know what they call luck?
No, what?
When preparation meets opportunity.
Exactly. That's a good way to. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wait.
When preparation
that's
meets opportunity.
That's gorgeous. That's very wise. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you. I could tell you have like this wisdom to you.
I appreciate it.
That like I feel like a lot of other actors don't have. This like groundedness in this craft. So tell me a little more about your craft.
This
How
is my
do you get
life.
into character? Like what are your beliefs when it comes to like being an actor? What are your beliefs when it comes to being an actor? Like,
this is my life. If you want to be an actor, that's what you're going to be. And there's no plan B is don't fuck up plan A. Sorry for my language, but like,
of course.
on some realness, it's like
Yeah,
if you're not going into this profession really going head over heels going into it, then you're not gonna be it. Truth be told. And it's like this is a business not about you. This is a business that's not about you. This is a complete understanding you're of service to whoever you're going to be. If I'm playing you, and in this moment where your mom said you couldn't have McDonald's, and you're like, I gotta be truthful to that moment. I can't be like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Cause that's not truthful, and that's not honest, and you don't want to cheat the person that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's an operation of just truthfully submitting and letting go.
Yeah.
You have to let go of yourself, of the things that you've experienced in your life. And I'm telling you, like, if you want to be an actor, with each character that I've put in, I've learned something new about myself. I've grown better with myself.
Exactly.
So now, just like, even when someone's acting and you're in an acting studio, it's just like you can see how the experiences someone has lived through inform their choices, and how they just in the slight details is like, I understand why you're doing that.
Yeah. And you can get to a point when you're observing people, at least I've noticed this, that when you're observing actors perform, you can tell when they're playing at something versus living truthfully inside of something. Because you know what the definition of acting is?
What?
The definition of acting is living truthfully in an imaginary circumstance. That's the definition of acting. And I just think that's gorgeous.
And it is amazing. And furthermore, it's like understanding these are human beings, or like you playing a dragon. These are human emotions. These are feelings.
Yeah.
And it's like throughout all these imaginary situations, understand that like the only thing that changed about life is technology.
Right.
Nothing else changed.
That's very true.
So it's just like you understanding the simplicity of the me being in medieval times and not having a light and just having to whip up something in the kitchen and something falling, and it's like I don't know where am I going, and something
the emotions are the same.
Exactly. Things are still the same. And I think, understanding. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me about somebody else, and I was just like, do you judge yourself as much as you judge others? It's like, yeah. And I was like, maybe you should judge yourself a little less.
yeah, definitely.
And it's like, you need
Definitely.
to. As an actor, you need to. Because you can be in your head, and I'm telling you right now, you look in the mirror and you see yourself back. You are your only competition. You are your only hurdle. You are the only person that can stop you from getting to the next level you want to be at.
Exactly.
Because you are the master of your own destiny. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes it's just getting out of your own way, man.
That's
and as actors we need to do that. As actors we need to figure out how do we get out of our own way so that we can step into whatever the truth of that character is. Or that scene is, or that whatever. How do you get out of your own way?
And it takes time. Like
Definitely.
there's characters, there's scenes, there's monologues, there's moments where you're gonna be a certain line where it's just gonna be a wall. Inside of you, like a wall you're just gonna hit. And it's just like, why am I not letting go? And what you're gonna have to do is take that time with yourself.
To process that.
Process that. And also as an actor, you need to be comfortable with being alone. You need to be comfortable in solitude. That's kind of the word that's kind of been breezing through the last couple months I've been here. But solitude is key, because in learning that time with yourself, you get to learn yourself. You get to be comfortable with yourself. And you get to sit down and settle in and start being someone you want to be around. And it's like, how can you network? How can you meet this person, that person? How you can go into spaces where people may not fuck with you at all, and you still feel good in your heart because you know who you are in your heart, and you're familiar with your heart. And that way, if you know you hard enough, you can be like, all right, what's this heart? How can I connect to you?
Exactly.
Truthfully.
No, that was beautiful. That was really, I love the way you see it. Absolutely. I love that wisdom. I love that mentality. I love it. Yeah. I think you're exactly where you need to be, for sure. So, what was your most recent project?
My most recent project. I mean, where I'm like, I guess where I'm actually working now.
I mean, like, I guess, like, what was your most recent, like, full production?
Full production?
Like, the last thing you did that was like a full production.
My
where you,
full
like, did
production. So last December, I did The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, written by Stephen Adley Gurgis, and I was playing Judas, and I was it was the director, Tremaine Raphael Gray. Chef's Kiss.
Where was this, by the way?
This was in the Disney Modular Theater. And the big boy theater here.
You got to perform in the Modular.
That was my first show. I
want to perform in there so bad.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Like, sick. I remember my first year where I came here and the guy was giving me the tour, and it's like something I do whenever any playing space, you just come in there and you just feel the stage.
Yeah.
You just feel the work. You feel the aura. You feel the things that just been lived up from it.
I breathe it in.
Yes.
I step into a space and I just inhale all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
indeed.
Oh, yeah.
So it was such a blessing being a part of that production, but being part of that show in that space, because I believe, well, long story short, the last deed of Judas Iscariot is a court case held in purgatory on whether or not Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed Jesus, should go to heaven or hell.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
And we bring people like Sigmund Freud, Mother Teresa, Simon the Zealot, biblical figures, political figures, what's it called? Religious figures, things like that. People from many walks of life.
Yeah.
And one thing that it illuminated on is the flawedness of being human.
Yeah.
And we're all perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
And understanding those imperfections.
Definitely.
And as much, good and bad people can do, we're all just trying to do better.
Yeah.
And that's all we really can do.
Yeah.
And another thing was forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, forgiveness is a big thing. Like I was talking to my mom in this summer, and one thing she said was like, say world ends right now. Oof. God was like, yo, who's going in, who going there?
Right.
And you were built off the strength of not your good deeds, not your bad deeds, but strictly off forgiveness. And it's like, say your parents treated you like absolute shit, and they left you sleep in the closet, the dog had a bed, and you had to sleep on the floor type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you grew up 20, 30 years later, and at the end of the day, your God's not going to be like, oh my gosh, my dad did this, I was sleeping on the floor, the dog was sleeping. No, he's going to be like, but you knew better. Mm-hmm. I gave you the opportunity to know that was wrong, mm-hmm. to know better, to do better. Mm-hmm. And that's all we really can do. Once we can't blame. There's almost so much blame we can put onto other people for taking advantage of our own life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, things are going to happen. Suffering is inevitable, and we have to suffer. Not to say it's cool. Nobody wants to suffer. But it's like, we're
all going to in some shape or form.
Exactly. And there's a needness to embrace it when things come, because at the end of the day, when it come, it's gone. Yeah. When it come, it's gonna be gone, and you gotta keep it pushing. This is the
power of theater, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is the power of storytelling,
and
that's
and it's like
phenomenal.
What's so great about theater that film kind of is able to really encapsulate is really for the moment. Yeah. Whatever happens then, you can't get that back.
Yeah.
And not that you wanna hold it back, but it slip between your fingers. But it's surrendering to the fact like, yo, we're not gonna do this dance again.
Yep.
Let's have this dance.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's something beautiful about that. It's something beautiful of just like knowing like, yo, this is it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, just like bring that into your real life. Like there's so many. It's there's
beauty when there's beautiful. There's beauty in the end of something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's like,
and the journey of it.
The journey of it. I like to say, in the pursuit of destiny, it's about the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's about the journey.
Absolutely.
And you got to understand, it's like, when in that process of going through that journey, don't look at other people's paths and what they crossing on. Don't get me wrong, you can look over and be like, okay, I gotta jump over that.
I see that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you can't be so fixated on what others are doing or how other people are existing, because at the end of the day, people got their own lives to live.
Of course.
People got their own journey.
Exactly.
Well, I can't look at Timothy Chalamet and be like, well, Timothy Chalamet, that should be me. I'm like, no, it ain't.
No.
If I kid you not, if 16-year-old Jahsiah, who wanted to be, on TV and do all this stuff, I'm telling you right now, even 18-year-old Jahsiah, before I even got here, I want to do all this stuff. And even though I had the mindset, I did not have the capabilities. Mm-hmm. And understand, you are not in your time, you in God's time. Mm-hmm. He's the only one. He's the one who's going to dictate how you move, what's going on. And one way to make God laugh is to tell him your plans. I'm telling you right now. And you just got to submit to that. And once you go through that process, you find a sense of gratitude.
Definitely.
And once you're just grateful, you just want to give. And the more you give, the more you get.
I'm definitely a strong believer of like whatever energy you put out, that's the energy you're gonna get back. You know.
Yeah, I think, and I'll say like, I was going into this semester, with acting. I'm not in shows this semester.
Right.
And with this time,
Because you graduate this year, right?
I graduate next year.
Next year. Okay.
I'm a third year. And quite literally, what's so beautiful about this time with myself and, you know, getting material and getting to work, you start to learn how you start to craft and how you approach the work.
Definitely.
There was even I'll even go even further on that note. Like going into the summer, it was like around April, May, June.
Yeah.
My man's was like, yo, like Othello was on Broadway, and it was like, yo, like you should, like
That's such a good show.
we should do a scene on from Othello in front of Othello, and I'm like, hell yeah, because for me it's just like, you know, I kind of grew up of like you gotta perform in front of people, because you're gonna perform in front of people.
Definitely.
So it's just like you gotta so let go in that sense. So it's like performing in front of people, especially in New York, like so much. It's an experience.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have not got the opportunity to go to New York, but one day I will.
You will.
Definitely.
And about like 3 weeks in, my friend was like, nah, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm sitting here, I'm like,
bruh,
this is a good idea.
Yeah.
You sure? Cause this is a good idea. And you know, when you got a great idea, you can't let that slip.
Yeah.
You cannot let that slip. So for me, I'm like, I know this is a great idea. And I'm like, all right, 3 monologues. Already got 2.
Yeah.
Let's get this not to be about. It is the cause. My soul.
Othello's still.
And I was had to bust him to even watch Denzel and go to the show and watch them work. And then that was a master. I have my opinions.
Of course.
But it was a master class nonetheless.
As artists,
I'm a student to the game. I'm a student to the game first. I'm a student to the game first. I'm by all means.
Facts.
But it was
Here's
one
some
of
notes.
Yeah. But yeah, and then like I thought I had like a month and a half to prepare. Yeah. I'm like, Denzel's old as dirt. Excuse me. He's not gonna be performing until like July.
Right.
So I'm just like, you know what? Let's look at this date. I only had 3 weeks to perform this, put on this feat. So I'm like, that's a perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
3 weeks. And for me, it was just something as someone going out reading the play, reading it again, read it again, and read it again.
Yep.
All right. And me being, 20 years old, and Othello's old as dirt too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude,
so there's so
Othello's
much
crazy.
life and history that I have yet to experience that
definitely.
I don't know about. And understanding, like, when reading these plays, reading these scripts, these are just moments in people's lives. This is not the entirety of somebody's life. So it's just like, what things in his life, Othello's life, made him make these choices in this scene. So it's me deep diving, like, what are things I can take from the script, and you need to have an educated enough imagination in order to really understand. Full of research. So that way I'm starting from when I was born until I was 9, up until when I'm 18, up until I'm 27, 30, 45, 60 to where I am now. And every time I trot out those moments of a bit of my own Othello's history, then when I'm like, it is the cause. It is the cause. My soul. Let me not name it to you. You chase stars. It is the cause. There's so much history. There's so much goes to this moment. And it's like, I'm not just going to kill my wife, who I love, and, off of nothing.
There's definitely a build to that.
There's a straw that breaks the camel's back. There's so many moments of betrayal, of misleading, of deception. And then especially at that time, you a black man, period. You going through a whole bunch of ish. So it's just like, for that moment to come up and do that monologue in front of the closing audience was such a blessing.
Yeah.
It was such a gift, and it was such an amazing experience to even have my friends record the experience.
Sick.
Black Dude from Across the Street on YouTube. You can get that out. You can watch that right there.
Check him out. Check him out. Check him out.
But yeah, and it was having my family there, and
Yeah.
overall just understanding like feeling supported. And I
Yeah.
know like as an actor that can be so tough sometimes,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
feeling supported, people not believing in you.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You believe in yourself.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you right now, once you believe in yourself, other people is gonna believe in you. This
Mhm.
this world's whole purpose is to dim your light. Kid you not. So don't do the world's job for it.
No.
Please don't. Yeah, and you come doing that performance, feeling supported, and as I'm going through it, having pedestrians walk in between the monologue, and it's like me.
And how that affects you.
Yes,
you know?
because
Yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, I knew I was performing in New York. People are gonna walk by. That's
And not
inevitable.
give a fuck.
Yeah, not give a fuck. So I'm like, all right, let me not even worry about that, but just like see where this moment leads me on.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to yell, to scream, to beat out, to be enraged.
Yeah.
And I watched back at the video, and what I loved about it was not even me working.
Yeah.
It was the moments across the street when someone walks by and they stop and watch.
When you've captivated somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you capture somebody's attention.
Mhm.
And for me, that's really all I really needed. Is we're in the business of giving people moments to remember.
Yeah.
And it's like once you
And
provide
feel.
and feel. And
Yeah.
it's like to provide that is such a gratitude.
Yeah. It's a blessing.
Such a gratitude.
It's a privilege. Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
Mhm.
So, to close out,
Mhm.
what's next for you?
What's next for me? Greatness. Greatness.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
beautiful.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Well, let's close it out here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, my friend.
Mhm.
It was a pleasure hearing all your wisdom, and thank you for being episode 1.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
of course. We'll see you guys later. Peace.